Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news, all that good stuff, and as always I publish on Rumble, extra support on Patreon or other stuff here, and you can follow me on socials here. So let's get started. Not much to talk about, but yeah, seems that Intel Battlemage GPU architecture is getting driver support already for Lunar Lake CPUs, so it's the iGPU part of the CPU here, which is I think can be good news, mainly because it means that they are continuing the development of Battlemage architecture. This at the moment it's for CPU only, so the APU to a certain degree, and it seems that seems that everything is going on plan. Supposedly the roadmap still continues the same. Next year we shall see the Battlemage launch in terms of GPU from Intel. We'll see how it goes. The rumors still are that they are aiming the Battlemage to be like the top tier, to be around the 4080 kind of performance in terms of gaming, which is not bad. In the second round they are going about it in the GPU battle. I think the Alchemist Plus supposedly it's for also for GPUs, but I don't see them unless they launch or announce kind of like late next year the Battlemage. I don't see them. I don't see maybe the need to have an Alchemist Plus unless there's going to be some significant boost on performance. Because if you're at the moment with the 770, sorry, the A770. 16 gigabytes, which gives, if not mistaken, a performance around 4060 Ti, give or take around that kind of level there. I don't think it's well worth trying to get a refresh on the GPUs if they're going to try to aim, for example, for I don't know, the equivalent of a 4070, like the top end now being the, I don't know what they're going to call 775, to be trying to achieve or aiming for a 4070 kind of performance. If they're not going to do that, I don't think there is like a big need to do a refresh, because the market at that price point to performance, it's already been screwed up. Unless AMD remedies that, like the middle range, because we have the low range, we have like still the previous generation, it's better in terms of price to performance regarding the low end, like the 4060s and the 7600s, and the high end we don't have not much. In some places maybe you can find like a 6900 or a 6950 XT kind of GPU from latest generation, or then you can go try to poke around like the mid to high, like the 7900 XT, if you have around like $700 to $750. If you find that GPU around that price, is pretty good. Or then you have the 7900 XTX and the 4080, which they are basically the same GPU except for the features, of course. The XTX, if you find it around 850, it's kind of good by the standards of the market at the moment. And of course the 4080, it's going about still 1200. Nvidia is basically halting distribution to a certain point to try to control the flow of the stock, so that the price maintains as high as they are, which is not a good sign. I think if you're aiming for this kind of price, if you have $1,200, you might as well save a little bit. If you have that kind of money to buy a GPU, you might as well save for a 4090. I think it's when you are that high of a price bracket there, if you are around $1,000, I think you can wait for a XTX kind of a deal. I think they are below MSRP lately. but I think 850 should be a good deal from what I have been seeing and from the deals that have been launched. But yeah, if it's kind of hard. Depends a lot of your particular situation. If you are upgrading, what you intend to in terms of performance. If you are upgrading like the CPU and if you are, for example, an AM4 platform, if you want to upgrade the CPU and the GPU, if you want just to upgrade a little bit the GPU and you have an older system, if you're buying, aiming for building a completely new system, what kind of budgets that you have, it's a little bit tricky. It's almost basically a case by case, given that we don't have, like, for example, for the GPU, you just buy this. Depends a lot on the case-by-case scenario, and of course at the time if there is any kind of deals on the GPU. I think the AMD ones, you have the Starfield bundle stuff with the CPUs and the GPUs. I think I covered that like a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago. I know the GPUs as the Starfield. I don't know if there is another game still, because there was the Last of Us, then there was the Star Wars game there, but the Starfield one, you can the Starfield one is for Wolves, but depending on the tier of the GPU CPU, you can get the normal edition, and the other is like the digital deluxe edition, something like that. I think that's it. But yeah, if you take advantage of this kind of value, you can kind of rebate that value from your purchases. But yeah, it's not the best. And then we had yesterday the news that supposedly the rumors that AMD is not, the Radeon part is not going to basically cancel the high-end dies. It's a rumor. There is no official position. There is, from what I saw, there is like no updates regarding that rumor, reinforcing or debunking that. But yeah, it is what it is. So regarding hardware, didn't see too much. It's quite month. It's more about the gaming stuff, which at this time, Baldur's Gate 3, it's topping all over the place. It's good to see. In the first 4 hours they did almost 500,000 players online. It's been selling pretty well. These numbers are not updated, of course. This is from yesterday, late yesterday. It's already around 700k, if I'm not mistaken, an all-time peak, and this 20-hour kind of peak, it's already 700k players, which is a good sign. It's like basically top 10 kind of a thing there. It's good to see that how they went about it. They did they are basically independent studio, so they're not corporate per se. They have the CEO, which is a huge, it's basically a gamer CEO, which you don't see in this industry. The fact that they managed to get the early access done right per se, which is basically launch a big chunk of the game, and they wanted to basically player feedback, and they take into account that player feedback and managed to do the changes that need to be made, and they launched basically a flawless game. No microtransactions, at least no microtransaction. I don't know if there's going to be any DLC. I suppose not, because in a FAQ of their product on their site, doesn't seem to they really said that no microtransaction and no like DLC stuff, from what I understood. But yeah, if there are going to be any DLC, I suppose they are going to do like big chunk DLCs, but from what I saw at the moment, because it's a huge game, it's something that you don't see very often. It seems like a good old days kind of thing. When you launch a game, you launch the complete game, not depending on like on DLC stuff to finish the game or to have more enjoyment. To fully enjoy the game, you have to wait for DLC. You don't have microtransaction. The game basically is fully playable. Of course, they are continuing to do fixing up small patches here and there, because the games have been more complicated throughout the years, so you have a lot of stuff that need to be ironed out. But from what I understood, there is like no big game-breaking bugs. There was some issues with cross-saving, feature, but because the game we only launched on PS5 in about a month, they basically turned off that functionality that was giving a little bit headaches to the players. But yeah, it's good to see that that they are it's a complete game. It's something that in this day and age it's kind of a surprise, and it shouldn't be. This should be the norm to all intents and purposes. Then we can have like the extra stuff, like if you want more to because you have the full experience, but if you want more, if you enjoyed the game, you have more with the DLC. It's something extra, not something that need to be basically integrated in the processing or developing the game. But yeah, as you can see, it's more about 700k. I watched another article. I didn't want to put articles after articles with updated numbers, but yeah, that of course they are very elated with the player figures. They're not resting on the laurels. They are being fixing. They already been like a few days after the gaming launch. They fixed a lot of little issues here and there, and of course there are already mods out there. Which one of them is party size mod, increase mod. So I don't know. Because it's based on D&D rules, like 5th generation rules, something like that. I'm so sorry. I don't know the how this thing with D&D things work. I don't know which kind of like the limit of the party on this kind of rules here, but you can make a 16-player group. I don't know if this is counting with co-op or something like that. And there is another one that increased the level caps to 20. I don't know how they're going about it, but I think you can already basically do this, if not mistaken. I don't know if this the multi-class stuff, which is fighter barbarian, I don't know if it is already on the game itself, or it is unlocked with the multi-class is unlocked in the base game. I think in Game Plus, something like that. I'm not sure. But I don't know how this thing works in the game, because I didn't see anything. I only saw like previews or reviews in progress. They didn't mention anything regarding this, but yeah, we already have mods on Nexus mod. But yeah, it's very good to see that we have an excellent RPG game. I never played any like D&D RPG rule games, so I'm very interested in trying out, mainly because of what I've been seeing. I've been following up, not minutiously, but I've been following up this game. It's always got my curiosity. The name Baldur's Gate franchise, it's always on the back of my mind. Never tried any of this, but it's one of those that you always heard in RPG. But yeah, it's one of those that I think if you really like RPGs, I think given that conditions of this developer and they are self-published, I think it's well worth supporting, and even maybe going for like the extra step of going for a digital deluxe edition or something like that. I think it's well worth supporting this kind of moves that these studios make, instead of waiting for a deal. For sure, when I have the PC, I will for sure buy at least this game, even if I have to wait a little bit until I get in the game itself. But I will not wait for a deal to buy this one for sure. And talking about deals, I've got some deals here. Seems that the Outer Worlds, the Spacer's Choice Edition, which is like the upgrade or next gen kind of things, has been relatively fixed now in terms of performance with this patch 1.4. I've been around checking the reviews, because it was like mostly negative, I think, or still mixed. Yeah, it was around 50%. Now it's basically 90%. And it seems from the comments that I've been seeing, people basically tried out this game. People that did like negative reviews also, they tried out the game again with this new patch, and it basically seems that almost everything is fixed. So in terms of performance, you might have like 1 or 2 issues at the thing, like bugs, but it can afterwards it's overtaken. Then there is no like issues, no bugs that at least they are game breaking, and the performance is way better now. So I think at this point in time, I can recommend buying this version here, which is 44% off. It has like as you've been seeing here on trailer, it has upgraded visual. I think it's the main thing from this one. It's upgraded visuals here. Also, we still have Dredge, which is one of those little games that I think it's an indie game. Lovecraftian kind of exploration. You got the fishing mechanic here, you got some survival aspects also, and like store management, and you have to sell the fish, carry out the fish, all that stuff. You got the day and night cycle, and that influences your, I think it's insanity meter, I'm not sure, but it's very interesting, and I think it's well worth buying. It's got a very interesting kind of storyline, and it's 25% off. Or 28% if you want to buy with all the DLC. I think the DLC is well worth it. So $30, I think it's a good buy here. From all the reviews, overwhelmingly positive, as you can see. I think it's well worth it. Also, we still have Arch Space Shipbreaker. Like the simulation, like basically you set your soul to work here, and you're basically dismantling ships to get to pay your debt by the fact that you're basically are owned by the corporation. Got that little story loop there, and the mechanics are very physics with zero G, and then you have like the thing you have to maintain with the simulation aspect also. It seems pretty good. It has very positive reviews. 43% off. I think it's a well worth game also to try out. And lastly, we still have Resident Evil franchise sale. We got about 1 day and a half, give or take. I checked the one of those game pages, like 30 hours or so until the deal is out. I will leave, of course, everything on links in the description of these games, the full games, like this one, the remakes, and even this ones also, and the new ones. The only one that is not on sale, of course, is still Resident Evil 4 Remake. But yeah, I expect maybe on probably on this Halloween. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If they do like at least 15 to 20% off, we will see. But for all intents and purposes, this is a very excellent remake. Of course, they improve a lot of the mechanics here and there. Some parts are way more improved. Even like these boss combats, I think that are well improved here. And basically, I'll wrap up here for today. As you can see, not much happening, but at least some good news regarding gaming. With my Google Funding for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content from my private clients, and of course start doing some video stuff for them, besides the writing content that I've been doing for them. And of course, my free spare time, doing daily videos with better quality. Also doing some scripted content for some from deep dives that I want to talk about, resuming gameplay series, and probably doing some live streams in the future. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.